Zimengzhang, a graduate candidate at ADS program. Now I'm going to present my final portfolio. My presentation mainly has three parts. They are my overview, my learning objectives, and how I achieved them, and the conclusion of my study. And finally, I will show the reference. Let's start with overview. So the first question, why I chose applied data science. The application of data science is potentially as diverse as enterprise operations and processes can be, multiplied by the variety of potential data-based decision-making that might affect these operations and processes. To achieve knowledge how to develop our own cognitive strategy for database decision-making skills, I chose to enroll in high school as an applied data science student at 2020 spring. And then I will go with my undergraduate background. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in information and computation science, cultivated a solid fundamental knowledge of mathematics and computer science. At the same time, actively seeking for methods that transform basic knowledge into technology and applications in real life. So, developing data analytical, data-driven report output skills and technology are my ultimate goals of learning, which also is playing a guiding role in my graduate path. And there are three main goals through my graduate study. The first one is data storing flowing technologies. Through courses like IST 659, IST 722, IST 718, I learned relational database design and implementation, data warehouse basics like ETL, and higher-level data storage and manipulation like distributed store system like Spark. And my second learning objective is database decision model concept and the implementation. The courses like IST 687, IST 707, and so on contains various types of analytical techniques like machine learning model, statistics model, and implementation in different programming languages such as R and Python. My last learning objective is business analysis concept and application. I took courses like ICM 651 and FIN 654 to learn business and financial concepts and transform business rules into data model via various techniques like R, Excel. And then next, I'm going to dive into my learning objectives and demonstrate how I achieved them. I will introduce detailed coursework and my learning objectives corresponding with outcomes. So in the past 2 years, I have done multiple projects, which is also an efficient way to test the mastery of my knowledge. Through insinuating past projects, analytical skills achieved are demonstrating. Following paragraph will include learning objectives in detail and how I achieved them. For my first learning objective, data storing flowing techniques. As an entry data storing techniques, IST 659 introduces concepts of relational database, rules of designing a relational database, and implementation in SQL Server. For this course project, I cooperated with my partner designing a database for NCAA potential college athletics, designed a relational database model and drew entity relationship diagram in Microsoft Visio. Then, a database in SQL Server is carried out, which is able to solve relating business questions via SQL. At the very last, we implemented our user interface using Microsoft Access for better interaction with databases. After access to using basic relational database, Data Warehouse updated my data flow techniques. ST722 introduced concepts components in Data Warehouse. Basic model like bus model, we learned how to make bus matrix and data ETL process through SQL Server integration services, also named SSIS. For this course, my group completed the entire process of creating a simple data warehouse, designed the detailed models to combine two databases from two different companies, implementing staging database and data warehouse in SQL Server, extract data from origin source, transform and load data recordings into data warehouse via SSIS. I also learned advanced ideas in data storing method, which is distributed system from ST718. Usage of Spark expands storage space and speed up calculation. Basic concepts, MapReduce and RDD data frame is introduced. Through the in-class project and coursework, I stored the whole dataset at a Spark data frame. Furthermore, conducted lots of data manipulation operations such as group by and table join in Spark, and do a lot of exercise via Spark, PySpark. And my second learning objective is database decision model concept and implementation. So in this paragraph, I'm demonstrating that I have cultivated strong analytical skills in multiple data processing areas, such as pre-processing, data modeling, validation, optimization, evaluation, and deployment. And I'm able to encapsulate them together in different programming language. So the first product I'm going to introduce is from ST6887. ST687 was the first course I took, which introduced data manipulation skills in R comprehensively. In this class, I had done project analyzing custom experience for Southeast Airlines and its regional partners, based on which providing insightful operations to save customers from leaving their services. This project started with dataset sampling for multiple usage and go with missing value cleaning, outlier detection, such data cleaning processes. In order to gain perceptive suggestions, I applied association rules, linear regression, and SVM model, from which extracting indicators that help improve customer satisfaction level. Finally, I visualized all bad trips from Southeast Airlines services on USA map and make a recommendation accordingly. And I have done this project by R. And the following courses like ST707, ST718 have deepened my understanding of database model. Machine learning algorithms were introduced with mathematical principles and application in Python. Furtherly, concepts of encapsulating data pre-processing steps, which is pipeline, came out. With the encapsulation, the whole procedure becomes simpler and can be completed automatically. Reusability is also an advantage of making processing steps a pipeline. Finally, deploying decision model as a web application to get a better interactive experience. I achieved such skills by doing a project in two packages. I used PySpark and sklearn respectively to complete the project. The project is called FIFA 2020 Player Data Analysis. Basically, it has done three main tasks. Utilize regression models to predict the value of a player, including linear regression, random forest regressor, gradient boosting machine regression. The second task is utilize classification models to predict the best fitting position of a player. Is utilize distance-based model to create a recommendation system for alternative players. As I mentioned before, there are three main goals in the project. And here I'm going to show the detailed model I implemented in Scikit-learn or PySpark. To achieve this goal, I construct and deploy several different models to solve the problem. For the salary prediction problem, I built lasso regression and ensemble learner such as random forest regressor and gradient boosting machine regressor. Evaluate model with R square. It turned out to be random forest regressor with 100 trees and subsampling rate equals to 0.2 had the best performance. For the position prediction problem, because there are 4 labels to predict, I trained binary classifiers like logistic classifier and used one versus rest strategy to construct multi-class classifier. And the other random forest classifier, I used cross-validation and grid search to validate the model, and accuracy AUC score to evaluate the model. It turns out that random forest classifier has obvious better performance. At the last, I built recommendation system for alternative players. First, for clustering and recommendation system, the standardization is the most important process because all the models we'll use in the future steps are based on distance. To eliminate the scaling effect, we should put them in the same scale. For building recommendation system, I firstly built 2 principal components analysis and then applied the system. For clustering, I first use maximum K for PCA and choose a best K for future programming. Secondly, I built a k-means model, use k equals to 2, based on the Seelhouse score, the album method. Apply. Then conduct cross-validation and hyperparameter tuning by grid search. And finally, for the evaluation part, metrics like accuracy, F1 score were used. And at last, I deployed the model on website for better interaction. And as a different carrier from numbers, text also contains a lot of information. Text mining ST736 introduced method to deal with text data. Comparing with numeric data preprocessing, text data has a more complicated structure. Thus, new techniques are required. Tokenizing bag-of-word model and embedding are used to transform text to numerical vector. I had done a project applied all mentioned new things. And this project is called Data-to-Chat Text Mining. I collect around 30,000 text chat of data to games from Open Data AI and implemented data preprocessing. Then apply LDA model to calculate the most frequently discussed topics and conducted trending analysis to observe chatting topics changes over all the game. Finally, I established classification models via SVM and multinomial naive Bayes to predict outcome of a certain game based on chatting text. I evaluated model with accuracy and explored a lot of meaningful features related to winning and conducted error analysis. For the model evaluation, I compiled a classification report by sklearn package to observe the results. For this binary classification problem, the classification ability of the classifier of two categories is different, which can be reflected by difference between recall and precision score. The failure category has a higher precision, but the success category has a higher recall. The average accuracy of the MNB classifier is 67%, which is 17% higher than random guess, and the average accuracy of SVM classifier is 78%, which is 18% higher than random guess. To better explain the model, I extracted the top 5 informative words for each class from the model. It shows when this word appears in a paragraph of text, they should have a greater impact on the model's classification judgment. And that's all my project's content. So far, I have already showed the ability to apply the entire text mining process. For my last learning objective, which is business analysis concept and application, I took courses like MBC 638, SEM 651, and Finance 654. And these courses provided me more business-related skills at understanding business rules, transforming it into predictive models, or accomplish business tasks with statistical models or financial models or other models are the key ideas of these courses. Data analysis tools are widely used in these courses. I learned Excel, Tableau, Google Analytics, and so on. But there is no project required for the 3 courses. And such courses granted me an opportunity to discover jobs in business field, which is critical to my future career plan. A case study from FIN 654 fully introduces usage of single index model that to compose investment portfolio in particular market. I was also required to complete a 3-month-long investment simulation and output brief report of that. Constructing risky asset allocation model and single index model in R helped me compose my own investment portfolio. So that's how I achieved my learning objectives, and now here comes the conclusion of my 2-year study. Within the past 2-year study, I think I have accomplished my learning objectives either through in-class project or course assignment or the test from the courses. Also, my life in Syracuse has also been substantial and valuable to me. In the future, I believe no matter what I'm doing, I'll be benefited from the precious experience. Even if I'm graduating in December 2021, I'm not stopping improving myself. We are going into a data century, and I'm going to become a leading big data specialist in the very future. And at the very last, I will say all projects mentioned will be linked to a GitHub for evaluation. And please follow my GitHub account, or you can just search the link in my portfolio document. My GitHub account is zimengzhang, and that's my presentation.